What's up YouTube, it's TCG here. Welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be checking out the results of the Japan Championships 2025 with around 2,400 players, the best of the best, and we're going to be checking out some deck lists that are actually going to be resembling decks we're going to be seeing at the World Championships, as they already have access to the cards that are legal for Worlds. So let's take a look at some deck lists, but before we do so, feel free to destroy the hell out of the like button. It is super effective on the channel and I'm forever grateful if you would do so. So let's dive into some data, shall we? So the Japan Championships were a little bit interesting, as they actually are playing a best of one format, so that actually maybe scuffs the results a little bit left and right. But let's take a look at the statistics right now. As we see here, Raging Bolt being the most popular deck in the room and the most successful, as it actually was able to win the event, and 8 of them were in the top 32, followed up by Gardevoir with the new Jellicent inclusion, then a little bit of Dracopult around. Marnie's Grimmsnarl also 4 copies in that top 32, 1 Joltic box, a Charizard, Gholdengo, and an Archaludon. So let's take a look at the first place winning list with Raging Bolt. We already talked about this on the channel before, because we talked about a deck profile in depth, so we already know what is actually in here. What you should know is that this is a very aggro based deck, as in Japan they can actually not tie. Meaning you have to be playing a very quick deck. If let's say it's 1-1, you really want to finish off a game, because otherwise you don't get the match points you want in Japan. Meaning that they opted to go for a very fast Raging Bolt deck with no Noctowls in there. Instead of relying on the Fan Rotom and the Noctowl engine, it's going to be very fast with double Squack ability, with a third copy of Crispin thrown in there, and a couple of Poke Gears as well. So you want to go second all the time with this 60, and then attack with Raging Bolt instantly. We also come back with Iron Leaps, which is a very cool tech card against stuff like Miraxis if you're trapped, but can also deal quite easily with stuff like Charizard EX as well as Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, because they're both weak to grass. And with the Teal Dance Ogre Pawns, you can get grass energies into play quite easily. The thing that stands out to me the most in the 60 is the Chimpao, which allows you to actually get rid of your own Area 0 under death in the same turn to get rid of a bench hitter or a liability or a damaged Pokemon, which is totally awesome. Still rocking the Baby Raging Bolt for some sniping capabilities. If people are not playing the Shaman, they're gonna be sorry, because the Thunderburst Storm is actually still a very powerful attack. This list also comes back with Budu, which allow you to just item lock the opponent, and also has a Ditto. Even though we're not playing Fan Rotom, the Ditto will be a very good lead, and also search for 3 means of Nazball, and with 2 free retreat Mew EXs, which you can sometimes lead with, that could actually be very good. You have free retreat Budu, free retreat Mew EX. That means all of these free retreat lead Pokemon, and even Latias if you want to, means you can retreat into the Ditto quite easily and transform into any Pokemon you want. So an updated aggro Raging Bolt deck piloted by Kabu Fakuse. So interesting for sure. Second place was Naoya Honda with Grimmsnarl Frostless. This is something we've seen countless amount of time before as well. We did see it a ton at NEIC. This is a classic Marnie's Grimmsnarl deck, but it does come packed with Tatsugiri, the little sushi master, allowing you to, of course, attract some customers and get a supporter from the top 7 cards. That could be very interesting to, of course, find your Arven if you go second, because you do want that Technical Machine evolution to be live. 8 Darkness Energies is about the norm. Also with TM Devo, as we already know, with Marnie's Grimmsnarl, there's going to be a lot of spreading going around with the Freezing Shroud ability of the Frostlass in combination with 4 Munkidori, allowing you to transfer damage from your side of the field to the opponent's side of the field. Even rocking with a Maractus, which is very strong, definitely against Raging Bolt decks. Definitely if they're not playing the Noctowl engine, if they don't have Iron Leaves in their deck, or cannot find their Prime Catcher, that's actually a super strong combo indeed. So Air Balloon, also a new tool card introduced in the Black Bolt and White Flare mini set that we are actually getting next month. So that's actually included in here, as that does provide you with some better ways to pivot. That also means Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX will come packed with free retreat as soon as you equip the Air Balloon, which can definitely be useful from time to time. Only 1 rare candy, but we're actually relying on TM Devo and even the secret box to back it all up. So this is Marnie's Grimmsnarl up and ready to go. Then we have Mahiro Kato with a Joltic box. Joltic box is actually one of the most aggro decks in the format, as pretty much you just go for the Jolting charge and then go for MP very much, or the attack Topaz Bolt of the Pikachu EX. Very easy. You power your Pokemon up on top of using stuff like Crispin, and then attack, and that's the game. In the late game, you have Blood Moon Ursaluna, and you might wonder why there's a Brave Bangle in this 60. That's gonna help the Galvantula hit for 210 against Pokemon with abilities. Think about stuff like Teal Mask Ogerpon and Phazandipity EX as a little example here, so that can offset the price trade. There's only one Iono in here, but this deck just wants to go balls, or Crispin, so that does make sense. It's a very consistent streamlined build, so yeah, not a lot has changed. We of course have the Brave Bangle for the Galvantula, but sometimes people were already rocking the Defiance Band anyhow. A Counter Catcher, Prime Catcher, and 4 Bossasaurus means that this deck always wants to gust and take down the Pokemon you want. You want to go 2/2/2 with this deck, and also it comes back with the Air Balloon as well, which sometimes will help something like, for example, if you lead off with a Blood Moon, Latias's price, you can at least go for Air Balloon, Crispin, and at least still attack with a Joltic, with a Jolting charge. So definitely some tiny minor upgrades, but the deck is pretty much the same. What else do we have is Ryoto Higashiguchi with another Raging Bolt, so a lot of Raging Bolt at the top tables over in Japan, which does make sense because they're playing the best of 1 format, but they could also swap decks from day 1 going into day 2, so we don't have the perfect knowledge, but this deck did really well in day 2. In a field full of Marnies, Grimmsnarl, and Gardevoirs, yeah, you might think this has a very terrible time up against Gardevoir, but if you're fast enough, you're able to do some stuff, and also with sniping of the Raging Bolts by your side, and maybe sometimes the Gardevoir decks not playing Shaman, that could still get away with something. Also, we did note here is that this actually is playing Noctowl, so I want to know in the comment section down below if you're a bigger fan of the Noctowl build or the straight version with a double Squawk ability and more copies of Crispin. Let me know down below in the comments. Also, this 60 playing the Koraidon, which can sometimes pack a punch if you attack with an ancient Pokemon, or actually an ancient attack during your last turn. We also see 3 copies of the Area 0 under that and no other stadium around, not even the Chimpao, so getting rid of damaged Pokemon is a little bit difficult. You cannot even do it with this 60 unless the opponent overlaps the stadium. And there's also a Briar in here, which can definitely help out because there's an E-Switch in there as well, and the Terapagos EX. So these are the cards that stand out to me the most. You can attack with Terapagos, you can go for Briar play, so you might think, oh, I'm losing the price trade, but out of nowhere you can take that prize card, cheating that into play through the means of Briar. Then we have Ken Morishita with Marnie's Grimmsnarl Frostlass. This actually is playing a Shaman. So no Maractus in here is the first thing I saw. Again, Air Balloon seems to be the norm. Nobody's playing Rescue Board any longer. And we also see a Team Rocket Spectral. You might wonder why that is in here, but this actually is able to get anything, whether you want a stadium, a supporter, an item. It is all searchable through the means of the Team Rocket Spectral. This can search out a TM Evo if you want to, but it can also search out Secret Box. So you might think Arven is miles better, but Arven cannot fetch a Spike Muff, for example. So the Team Rocket Spectral also in there. If you're actually up against somebody that's playing the Team Rocket's Factory, you're actually able to draw some cards with that as well, but you probably won't see that very often. Again, Tatsugiri being part of the Marnie's Grimmsnarl archetype. Then we have Arigi Nishiguchi with Gardevoir Jellicent. I talked about Gardevoir Jellicent on the channel before. I'm currently rocking a 1/1 blind. I did do a deck profile on this in full detail, so if you want to learn more about this, you can do so. The cool thing is that stands out to me is that they're playing a 2/2 line of Jellicent EX, putting some pressure upon the fact that item lock in combination with tool lock is very important. If Jellicent EX is in the active position, you item lock and tool lock the opponent. Which means if you combine that with something like a TM Devo, you can turn a Morgrem or a Charmeleon back into a Charmander, and you will never be threatened at all. Because of the fact that you cannot play Rare Candy, and it also is still a basic, means you're never afraid of being threatened by a stage 2 Pokemon. Think about Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, think about Charizard EX. The TM Devo with the Jellicent EX combo now really helps out Gardevoir to be, still remaining at the top tables, even though there are some Darkness Pokemon decks around. Klefki also very useful because if the opponent wants to use something like, for example, an Iron Bundle to push Jellicent to the side and want to use a stun of Munkidoris, they cannot because you can push Klefki up in the active position. Also, leading off with Klefki up against a very aggro Raging Bolt deck, for example, they will not be able to use the Squawk ability, which is hilarious. Also, not being able to use Fan Rotom is awesome. So Klefki, still one of the very strong abilities in the game with the Mischievous Lock. If you can get it into the active position, Attach Retreat, it is in the active position, you shut down basic Pokemon, their abilities, which can be really, really useful. The things I'm thinking about most is like shutting down Squawk ability, but you also can shut down Munkidoris in specific scenarios. And the Jellicent EX is, shutting down items, shutting down tools, while Klefki is shutting down basic Pokemon, their abilities. So if they want to gust something with like something like an Iron Bundle to push your Jellicent and you don't have a second one established, you can still push that Klefki. So Gardevoir still strong, powering up with the use of the Psychic Embrace. No Drifloon. Drifloon has been put in the discard pile because people are now gravitating towards the Jellicent EX and TM Devolution. So more support for Gardevoir, and it's not stopping because we already saw a scan from an updated new Stadium card that we're gonna get for Psychic type Pokemon. Kazuki Shigimoto with Dragapult Charizard, also a deck we featured on the channel before. Very similar to the 60 I posted actually on the channel. This 60 is actually playing the Chiyu. Could be a very good one-price Pokemon, definitely in combination with Iona and Counter Catcher. You can knock out stuff like Teal Mask, Ogerpons, and in a world where there's a lot of Raging Bolt, there's that. There is no Briar in this 60, and you also have, of course, a 4/4 2-line of Dragapult EX. I actually introduced the Wellspring Ogerpon attack card, the very cool one, which you can use from time to time because not a lot of decks are playing Shaman, and that could surprise opponents left and right. So that is, if you want to learn more about Charizard, Dragapult also did a deck profile video in depth, but this is a 60. Again, Air Balloon seems to be one of the most popular tools from the Black Bolt and the White Flare mini set. The only Brave Bangle we saw was in a random Joltic box deck, so not even in other one-price deck. Think about Ancient Box, think about Typhlosion. All of these decks doesn't seem to be that much playability over in Japan. So there's the 60 playing Secret Box. In my 60 I was playing Unfair Stamp, so yeah, very interesting. Charizard with Dragapult, that was actually the most successful Dragapult out of the bunch. And then we have Hiroki Ishida, sorry for the pronunciation. So you have a Charizard, classic Charizard Pidgeot with the Dusknoir. Dusknoir Curse Blast, still one of the most powerful abilities we've seen in the game. Japan does have access to Psyduck, which can actually shut this down, but we haven't seen any Psyducks around, so we are not going to be able to play Psyduck at the Pokemon TCG World Championships over in Anaheim, so that's a little bit of a bummer because they didn't release Psyduck yet over in the West, so that means Psyduck will be a banned card for the Worlds, just like we had Patchurant last year, so kind of annoying, but it's true. Again, we see here Cleffa with the Grasping Draw to draw cards. You have the Pidgeot to get any card you want from the deck. One copy of TM Evo, so very scary if that is priced and you're getting an item lock, but 2 copies of Charmeleon should be making up for that. Also prepare for some TM Devo shenanigans with the Mist Energy thrown in the 60 as well. Defiance Band in there and the Briar. So the classic Charizard Pidgeot deck is still thriving, it seems. 9th place is something we don't know, but we have the 10th place with Kazuki Kashihara with Gholdengo. This Gholdengo archetype actually is playing the Scizor build, also something I did on the channel before, so if you want to learn more about Gholdengo in depth, there's a lot of deck profiles I already did to prepare everyone for the Pokemon TCG World Championships or the new season. 2 copies of Turos is very interesting, but does make some sense because at one point you can get rid of your Genesect because it's a liability. Genesect is able to search out 2 Metal-type evolution Pokemon instantly from the deck every single turn, but can sometimes be a liability. Imagine your Gholdengo getting knocked out and this is in play. The opponent can always go 2/2/2, but if you then start swinging with something like a Scizor, you can actually get rid of your Genesect, and out of nowhere you only have a one-prize board, a one-prize board state, which is going to be great if you're actually want to be winning some games because a lot of decks want to go 2/2/2, which is very scary. You come back with the Munkidori to transfer damage from your side of the field to the opponent, and that's pretty much it. Gholdengo doing it by itself with a little bit of hands, help of the Scizor right in there. The punishing Scizor slapping 10 damage plus 50 more for every Pokemon that the opponent has with an ability. Energy Surge Pro, still the best ace pack around for Gholdengo to, of course, get all those energies and go for the Make It Rain attack, slapping 50 damage for every energy you're willing to discard from your hand. With Lavencia, you do have a little bit of Safeguard if you're getting item locked. At least you can get back your lightning energies. And with Jellicent around, this also means you need a lot of Gust. And this deck does have a very crazy amount of Boss's Orders with 4 copies in there. That's a little bit on the high end, but it was stacked out for the Jellicent. So maybe you could get away by playing 3 copies, I suppose. But yeah, 4 copies is definitely in combination with like double counter catcher. There's so much Gust in this 60. Is it going to be necessary? Who knows? But you can also initiate the prize trade with 2/2/2 instantly against Raging Bull with a high amount of Gust. So yeah, getting support with Genesect. Genesect being the only new EX we actually saw at the top tables over at the Japan Championships 2025. Continuing on, there is still the 11th place, which we don't know. Then we have another Gardevoir. Let's see here if we can see another list here. We have Gardevoir, and then we have Akira Iruta. There's also a 60 we can check out here by checking out ptcgstats.com. It's a Raging Bolt with the Ogre Pawns. Let's take a look at what they were rocking with. So it looks like a Noctowl build to me. Nothing out of the ordinary. 3 areas, 0 under def, it seems. Although I could be mistaken. Is that a jamming tower? I don't know. They are gold stadium cards. Double copy of Baltazars for yeah, Sada. There's 1 Crispin. And also Iron Leaves and Ditto. So it is actually a little bit of... Yeah, it's just a Noctowl build that we're familiar with. So nothing out of the ordinary for sure. Then there was also 15 plays with Rikutaro Atazu. So very hard names to pronounce. So we have another Raging Bull. So a Raging Bolt here, and this is very interesting because this is playing the Noctowl engine, but also coming packed with the Chimpao. So Chimpao making its way into the Raging Bolt deck to remove liabilities, seeming to be the norm, and that's pretty much the top 16. So tons of Raging Bolt, a little bit of Gardevoir innovation with Jellicent. Not all of them played the Jellicent, it seemed. There's still some more, but it makes sense. Gardevoir has a good time against a Raging Bolt. Marnie's Grimmsnarl has a good time against Gardevoir most of the time, although with Jellicent it makes things a little bit more awkward. Definitely with TM Devolution thrown up in the mix, so I wonder how Gardevoir will be able to be stopped at the Pokemon TCG World Championships when they have access to item lock now, which can definitely win them a ton of games. So Gardevoir getting stronger, Marnie's Grimmsnarl still around, Raging Bull still around, and those are actually the most popular decks. We also saw a little bit of straight Dracopults in that top 32, so straight Dracopult in there as well. And we're also going to be taking a look at an Archaludon list, which actually made 27 plays with Mayuto Suzuki. Let's see here. This is Archaludon, double Munkidori, and a triple Venture Bomb. So you can blow up on the opponent. 3 copies of the Team Rocket's Watchtower, really helping out against Noctowl-based engines. So Team Rocket's Watchtower, low-key, very good. If you're expecting a lot of Raging Bull that worlds, you can actually add in the Team Rocket's Watchtower. Some of them will be playing Noctowl, some of them will be playing the Fast Turbo version, but I predict most of them actually playing the Noctowl build still, but I could be wrong on that. Depends on how the meta will develop, because we're still going to have a lot of tournament data from online tournaments happening leading up to Worlds. So Archaludon, you blow up with the Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. Either you put it onto yourself and transfer it over with Adrenabrain, or you put it on one of your opponent's Pokemon. With Hero Escape, you have a 400 HP Archaludon EX, which is kind of insane. So yeah, Archaludon, still a great deck. I actually played something very, very similar to EOIC. I know Venture Bomb was not around, Munkidori was not around, but I played Scoop Up Cyclone and all that. So yeah, Archaludon, very consistent deck because you're actually going to be able to evolve and set yourself up instantly. Also has a very great time against Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So that's pretty much my rundown of the Japan Championships 2025. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite deck was that you saw, or favorite innovation from this upcoming format. This will be very similar to the format we're playing at the World Championships. Only difference is Psyduck is banned at Worlds. And also we are playing best of 3, so that's also going to be changing quite a bit on deck choices. I don't know if everyone in the West, definitely Worlds caliber players, will be rocking Raging Bolt, but you never know. It all comes down to yeah, the testing, because I actually tested a lot already for Worlds, and I'm doing a little bit of a vlog recap every single time I'm actually doing something for training. So that was going to be like captured into one big video that you're going to be getting in August. So I'll be preparing. Hopefully I'll do well. There's going to be a lot of travel vlogs also with the new season up on the horizon. Expect more content coming on the channel. And also Check out the sponsors, they make the daily content possible every single day. Level up your game with TC Evolutions, breathtaking damage counters, special condition tokens, and ability markers, precision, style, power. Use coupon ZapdosTCG for 10% off only at TC Evolutions. Also go check out dragonshield.com for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. You can get them with 5% off using the coupon ZapDose5. There's PotownStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. Get them with 5% off and instant email delivery using the coupon ZapDoseTCG. Cardmarket.com for European players where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. Definitely check it out using the coupon, actually the referral name ZapDoseTCG. You're helping out the channel tremendously. Thank you all very much for watching today's upload. This was ZapDoseTCG here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG content. Peace.